And we are live.
We in the building.
Back at it like a crack addict. It's good to be back. It's been a while. I lost another aunt on my father's side. So I got to give a tribute to you, Aunt Fanny. Beautiful, beautiful black woman that you were. Sad to see you go. What have you been up to, bro?
Well, my condolences first and foremost. I know how it is losing family members or just loved ones on a whole. So,
yep.
My condolences. Hope your family's doing well. I was sick for a little while. COVID caught up with me for the second time in my life.
Yikes.
But, there's a but. It wasn't nowhere near as severe as the first time.
Okay.
So I'm much better. I was probably sick for a day.
Okay.
And then I was back to normal, but the whole protocol and quarantining and all that stuff. So we had to take precautions, but I have a clean bill of health and it is what it is.
Man, I'm happy to hear that. Yeah, for me, like I said, I had my father's older sister, she passed. And as you know, I had to go out the country for a couple of days to kind of just recalibrate myself in between that. And then we back. And so today's topic, man, as I told you yesterday, our session, I was sitting in my den reading my Bible in my smoking jacket and smoking my tobacco pipe. And God came down and said something to me. He said, that women have two sets of rules and two sets of standards. And rule number one, those sets of rules is for the guy that she likes. And rule number two is for everyone else.
Yep. I agree 150%, man.
And when he said that, I said, man, I took my pipe out my mouth and said, oh. And as soon as it came to me, everything that I did on a simp level, it just revisited me, right? So, how can I say? It's very interesting when you look at your life from a vantage point of when you were, how can I say, unseasoned, before you became a veteran in dealing with the opposite sex, that you realize is that the only thing that separates you from doing things with the lady or experiencing things with the female or even just dating her is who she likes. It doesn't really a lot of times have to do with your character and integrity more than it has to do with who she likes. A guy once told me, he said, more women will choose who they physically like than who they mentally admire. And when you look at those things, it kind of makes you ponder which guy to be on the date.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Are you the passive aggressive guy? Let her dictate that energy? Or do you go for the guzzler? You know what I'm saying? Do you go for the juggler? Like, do you really go all out for this lady that you don't really have an idea of what she really feeling?
Well, I think it's important for guys to be their authentic self, regardless to whether it's working for this particular woman or not. Like, you have to be who you are, because if you get into a situation where you're pretending to be someone else, now you have to keep up this facade for the whole relationship. And how long can you do that? And how long are you going to be good at being someone else? Like, you can naturally be yourself, but this character that you create, how long is that going to last? It's not going to work. So even if you're not getting the results that you particularly would like or you would rather, then you still have to just kind of give that up. You got to move on from that. You just got to let it go.
Now, here's my thing with you. You said yesterday, tell your story of that kind of coincides with this theory that I have.
Well, back in the day, I used to be in these streets a little bit.
Okay.
I was in these streets.
In the streets.
If I took off my shirt, you'd see the the bullet wounds and the knife scars. I had a few knife fights and shootouts. I did.
This guy's a
It just,
five-star general.
I'm just saying. It's just the truth. You know what I mean? Shout out to Crown Heights. That's where I grew up, Brooklyn.
Man.
It was a little ugly. So I had to be a different person than I am now.
Right.
At that point in my life.
Right.
And the women that gravitated towards me were of that ilk. Okay. Got a little older, got a little wiser, cleaned up my act a bit, stopped doing certain things. Okay. And those women didn't like me anymore. And these were the same women who was coming to court. You know, they was in the audience. They were sitting in the audience of court.
Hold on. They were rocking with you through the court system?
They was at court with me. I'm telling you, they was coming to court. They was sending bail money. They was doing all that. Yo. And when I cleaned up my act and I wasn't a quote unquote street dude anymore, because I got heavily into music and I went back to school and stuff like that. They didn't like me anymore. I wasn't edgy enough. One particular incident I can remember was a chick named Tawana. If you know Crown Heights, I grew up on Franklin Avenue. And around the corner on Park Place is where Tawana lived. Okay. Now, me and my homie Alan were known in the neighborhood for doing certain things. Okay. Let's just say we had a reputation.
Right. Illegal activity.
So there was a group of guys playing touch football. Okay. So me and Alan decided to join the game. Now, this game of touch football was going on directly in front of Tawana's house. So she was sitting on the stoop watching. Right. When me and Alan joined, slowly but surely, everybody one by one quit. They didn't want to play anymore. Now, that was because of the reputation we had. They didn't want to be too rough with us and something go left. Right. You feel me? Right. So they just bowed out. Now, in the moment, I didn't understand what was going on. I just figured they was probably playing a long time. Now they don't want to play. Right. But she kind of saw what was happening. Right. Now, this is before me and her were kicking it. Right. This was the jumping off to me and her talking. So she hit me up and was like, she sent somebody to get me. Alan lived like a block away. Right. And somebody was coming up that way, and she was like, if you see him, tell him to stop by here, whatever. So I got the word, Tawana, you know Tawana that live over, blah. She was asking if you could come through or whatever. So I'm like, cool. Right. we got company. Okay, yeah. Cool. All right.
Hi.
Hey, how you doing?
Christina's in the building.
Right.
Hello.
So when I was leaving the neighborhood, I stopped through there real quick, and she was, hey, how you doing? And she told me,
you got to put the voice on.
She told me, she said,
the voice, please.
She said, they quit because you all started playing and they were scared of y'all. And I was like, word? I didn't see that, but she saw that. Right. And that turned her on. So she wanted to kick it with me after that. And we hung out a little bit. Not too much, but a little bit. Okay. But later on, when I cleaned up my act, she was one of those women who were no longer interested in me because I wasn't in the street.
That's crazy.
Right? I was the same guy. I was still me. Right. But in her eyes now, that edginess, that fear that other people had of me wasn't there. So she was no longer interested.
Wow.
She was. I mean, like I'm telling you, man, girls were coming to court. They were hanging out. They were doing all kind of stuff. But the moment I cleaned my act up, they switched up on me.
they were in court going.
They were going to court. They were going to court. I remember I got arrested in Staten Island, and I had a couple of girls out there. I had one over in Stapleton. I had one in West Brighton.
Oh, you was in Stapleton?
Yeah, I was in Stapleton. I had, and I mean, they were coming to court. They were coming, making sure I was good, sending me money, you name it. But the moment I said, all right, listen, this life isn't for me anymore. I'm going to switch it up. They were no longer interested.
That's crazy.
Yeah. True story.
They didn't know what to do with that.
Yeah, I guess.
So we have our first lady in the building, the beautiful Italian stallion, all the way from Long Island, New York City.
All right.
The 516. Right.
Texas in the house.
Right. Christina Maria Senatore, ladies and gentlemen.
AKA Rakisha Balboa.
That's it.
That's silly.
So Christina, I want you to be as transparent as you can muster up in your Italian body. Thank you.
Okay.
Do women have two separate rules? One for the guy she likes and one for the guy she doesn't. Go ahead.
Well, before I start, I was just at dinner with my Aunt Linda, who I talk about with you.
Right. Your Aunt Linda.
Said, what's the podcast about? And I told her.
Okay.
Women have one set of rules for the men that they like and one set of rules for the men they don't. And she said I would have to agree with that.
Woo!
All right. Shout to Aunt Linda.
That's it.
We didn't go really too much into it after that because you were texting me like, we're in. I'm like, okay, let me get there. So do they have I think that all right, so let me ask you a question, and maybe this is silly if I reverse it. So you have female friends, right? Then you have females that one might date.
Right.
So don't you treat them differently? Wouldn't you do more for one or expect more or less from another?
Well, once again, that question, you're doing the psychologist shuffle or the female shuffle because
whataboutisms.
Right. Here's the thing. We're asking you as a lady, right? Yes. This is the problem. You know if a guy wants to date you.
Right.
And you know his intentions if he makes it clear, right? We're not talking about platonically.
Okay.
We're talking about if you put 5 guys in a room and they all took you out on dates, are you going to follow the same dating standard for all 5 guys? Or does the one that hits the genetic lottery, right? I'm going to tell you for the people that's watching, I'm going to tell you like I told you yesterday.
To those people? Will I react differently to those people?
Somewhat, but like I told you yesterday, right? We're going to break it into the most layman terms. I take you to Ruth Chris, right? And I am eloquent. I'm astute, right? I have my bow tie on and I pull out your chair. I even washed under myself today. I make sure I don't stink, right? And
using my salad fork.
Right. I'm using all of my utensils correctly.
Fantastic.
Right. I give you what these women claim they want, stimulating conversation, right? Okay. And you enjoy your $552.89 steak.
What a waste.
At Ruth Chris. And then I go out into the parking lot and then I give you a hug, right? And then I go for the killer. That kiss, right? And you know what you do? You turn your cheek and then you get this awkward kiss in between the ear and the jawline. And I'm just sitting there like, yo. And then you say, don't rush. You have time for that. You know, I don't do certain things. And I say, okay. But then I find out a week later that someone take you to Outback Steakhouse.
Me.
Obsession. Takes you to Outback Steakhouse and get you a $49 chitlins au gratin special. And then y'all don't even make it to the car. Right? What do you say to the guy that took you to Ruth Chris, who get the awkward kiss, you know, between the ear and the jawline, right? Do you honestly tell him, well, Andre, you know, the conversation was stimulating. You knew every single vertebrae in the back, and you knew the lumbar, you knew how the frontal lobe worked, but you just didn't make my vagina tingle. Do you tell him that? Right? Or like what are you talking about? Go ahead.
Listen, I don't think that people are gonna, want to kiss and do all that with someone that they don't like. So yeah, I think the steak place is great if you already have an attraction for the person.
Right, but you're okay. Here's the problem. A lot of women do that though, right? A lot of women will go to Ruth Chris knowing that they will not they don't have that strong physical attraction to the guy.
That's taking advantage. I don't condone that. Because okay, so I'll talk about, I'm not saying people don't do that. Personally, I don't do that because I would feel remiss that I'm giving the wrong message. because this person spent all this time and money on this, and it's not fair to them, like human to human. But I'm sure people do that, and they try to get away with, whatever else they can. Do I think
they do it all the time?
They do it all the time, Christina.
Yeah, I would feel very uncomfortable with that personally, because I'd feel a little bit and I know I shouldn't, but I feel a little bit in debt, and I feel like I misled him. That's how I would feel.
It's got to be the Power Rangers thrown around.
You are in the minority.
You are a special snowflake, literally and figuratively.
You are in the minority.
Yes,
I am. I really am.
You are. My brother Chris, that story I just gave, that illustration I just gave Christina, does that happen more than not, or am I tripping?
Happens all the time.
Exactly. Now let's be transparent.
That's very expensive.
It's very expensive.
Absolutely.
That's why instead of me taking on the McDonald's, I take it on McDumpster. But Chris,
coffee date.
Exactly.
Coffee date is beautiful because the two of you have a minute to talk, and if you want to do something after that, if you know there's a connection, I think that's fantastic. No one wants to sit through a 3-hour meal with someone. I mean, it's great, but we all know why we're there. We all know what we're trying to figure out.
That's right.
That's the point, and that's the point. Get a Lord a hand clap.
And fellas, let me say this, fellas. If she objects to a coffee date, just leave her where she is.
Just leave her where she is.
Just leave her where she is.
I don't think anyone would agree with that.
No, there are women online right now saying, I am not the coffee date chick. You can't take me on a coffee date.
For the first
you
date?
have to, yes, you have to impress me right out the gate.
Yep.
You have to do this,
I'm
that,
already
that.
a little impressed because I want to go to coffee with you.
Well, no. They want Ruth Chris. They want Mr. Childs. They want Philippe's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Say it again.
No.
Say it again.
I'm telling you, like there are literally videos with women talking that way.
If you're in Houston, they want Papa Do's.
That's right. There's literally videos online with them talking that way. I'm not the coffee. If you want to do a coffee date, that's cool. You can't take me. I'm not the coffee date girl.
What do you mean we gotta go on a coffee date? I thought we was gonna get a meal.
Yeah. So I mean, that alone lets me know that you're not there for me. You're there for the meal. And I'm not trying to impress anyone.
Plus, everyone's time is very valuable, right? We're very busy. So why would I want to extend that time or not have enough consideration for the other person?
Yes.
So Christina, hold on. Before we let Randy and Chris go in, you tell let's be transparent.
Yeah, I'm honest.
You telling me you never once went on a sympathy date with a guy and you knew all he wanted to do was rub rotelli pasta and meat sauce all over your body, and you telling me that you didn't go out on that date and then give him the
you ain't give him your cheek to kiss. You ain't giving that cheek.
Tell me you didn't do that, Chris. Tell me. Please.
Come on now. Come on, keep it above.
The doors of the church are now open.
Now, I went on the date for sympathy, or I ended up not liking him on the date when we were on the
both.
Date?
I'm gonna play your game because I see you're doing the psychologist.
I'm thinking of the coffee date that I went on long before the pandemic, and he said to me, I got there a little early, and then he ended up saying to me, I was in the parking lot. I came early, to see, I guess he wanted to see what I looked like, but he admitted that. I don't know why.
Right.
So then
he was sizing you up.
He was sizing me up. I'm like, okay. And then he said, oh, well, we could have went for a drink. I said, well, you said coffee or a drink. I thought you wanted coffee. And he said, no, I wanted a drink. But he said to me, if you're not going to have a drink, that's going to be a problem. If we're dating, I'm like, okay, I just met you. Like, I don't know what that's all about. And then he proceeded to tell me how all men, the story in Starbucks, how all men are liars. My aunt is looking at me like that was not a good date. All men are liars. I'm like, oh, are you lying right now? He goes, yeah, I'm lying right now, whatever. And then he wanted to make out in the parking lot. I'm like, you know what? It's very good. Bye.
He wanted to make out in the parking lot.
Yeah, so you want to make out? I'm like, no.
What was he, 16? No, the stop line. He asked you if you wanted to neck. You want a neck?
He goes, you want to make out? I'm like, what? I'm
like, a little necking?
Yo, I can't believe this.
He really did. It was grown ass man had a job and the whole 2039. Terrible.
All right. Well, let me. I'm a. Me. I am a 5-star general, Purple Heart,
Card
Green
carrying.
Beret, card carrying simp. And I can tell you between the ages of 25 till about 29, right? I used to be like the real coffee date, movie date. I did the Starbucks thing, right? And especially the movies, right? Because even at that time, right, when you're broke, a movie is gonna run you 50. Now we're talking about circa 05, 06, 07, 08. Definitely gonna cost you 50, right?
At least.
Because you're looking at $12 for the ticket.
First in. You can't talk. You can't.
$12 for the ticket. Concessions is another 13. So 12, 24, 13, 14. That's $46, right? So, all right. So there was times, and these are women that like I knew and they allegedly was attracted to me. I was attracted to them.
Right.
And I would take them to these movies or take them to these dates. And then a week I would get these texts. And they say, Andre, why do men? And my little simp self used to answer the text like, what you mean, why do men? Some would say to me, well, I didn't do nothing to this woman. Did you give your vagina out to someone else? And I just took you to them. Well, Andre, you always busy, you know, and I just felt like, you know, you still had a time. I said, hold on. So I had the time to take you to the movie. But I didn't have the time to get invited over for cookies and vagina. Isn't that disgraceful?
You can't be nice. Being nice gets you nowhere.
Somebody open up our sessions cake.
Here we go.
Being nice gets you nowhere. You got to do what homie did. True. You got to do what homie did when he went out with Christina.
Yeah.
That didn't get him anywhere.
Facciamo fuori.
Yo.
Don't
real quick before we let Chris and Randy go in,
don't get ahead of yourself.
The Lord just put a word on my heart for you people that's watching. The Lord just gave a word to me. Y'all ready for this? I hear you, Jesus. Guys, if you take a woman on a date, preferably a Christine or a Randy or another beautiful, attractive woman, right? I don't care if it's a coffee date. I don't care if it's Papados. I don't care if it's Cipriani. I don't care if it's Philippe Childs. If she gives you, like, if y'all just having general conversation, but she gives you her rules, then you're the guy that she's gonna ditch after the date and call obsession. Do you understand what I'm saying? So if you're talking to her and she tells you all the rules she don't like, well, I don't want a man to kiss me on the first day. I don't want a man to do this. That just means you're the second set of rules. You're the guy that's for everyone else. Mm-hmm. Because the guy that she don't tell her rules to when you're talking and conversing, it's gonna be pound town.
Facciamo sesso.
Hey, Chris, so do you have a story about it? Did you ever in your life, Chris, take out a woman and you experienced the two set of rules that women provide for men?
There have been a few times where, you know, there was some simping going on.
All right, well, give us your best one, brother.
All right, we here for the simping, some simp stories here today. Let's go.
Yo, so there was a chick that I was messing around with, so called, and I took her to, you know, the dopest Carrabba's in Houston, which is in Kirby, close to downtown.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
I think that's Edu, right? East downtown, something like that.
Yeah. So that's an automatic 120, 130 out the gate. Out of my pockets, and then paid for her gas.
Oh Lord!
Oh man!
Lord, send a revival.
So
on the first date?
Oh,
she sent a revival.
Boy, she sent a text message. She sent a group text.
Yeah,
we got one.
Wait a minute. Let me hear, Chris. That was the first date?
That was the first date, but I
send the revival. That's too much.
Yeah, I kind of already knew her already.
Okay.
Yeah. So
how long?
Probably about 6 months or so.
Not long enough.
Yeah, that's not a long time. But
you were nice. You're a nice person.
Don't listen to Christina, brother, but continue.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I mean, I spent the bread. You know, did I end up with her? Ultimately, yes.
Okay.
But the time frame, it did not happen like it was supposed to.
Right. So you got to circle the block.
Okay,
You
wait
got to
a
circle the
minute,
block woman.
hold on. See,
You got to
now I'm
circle the
curious. Now I'm curious.
Go
You
ahead.
said you didn't end up with her right away. How did that work out? Then break it down.
So you know, the date was good. It was cool or whatnot. You know, it was definitely a vibe there, but you know, it didn't really pan out right off the bat. So you know, it had to be like a month or two before we came back to the table and was like, okay, you know, last time we got together, it was live, but you know, we just didn't. It didn't happen at that time. So I did end up with her, and you know, whatever. But um, I think looking back on it, I definitely would have did that differently because in the end, I end up like, I don't think she was really worth that. But I did it anyway.
You feel she misled you? Like she acted like she was into you more, or you would just like, was she not like honest, or wasn't presenting herself well?
No, because you know, she had like a what I would call a promiscuous type of spirit about her.
Just say she was home.
She was a harlot. That's what.
Yeah,
She was out here
yeah,
fighting in Bible.
yeah.
That's
brother.
it.
Just saying.
I mean, I couldn't really prove it, but it just felt that way. You know what I mean? So, you know, and I kind of like
you could smell it. You could smell the hoe.
She belonged to the congregation, brother.
Yeah. So I mean, but she ended up being pretty decent though. Not gonna lie, but you know, I definitely spent too much bread. I think, in my opinion, when I think about it, and I would never do that again. But you know, she ended up, you know, being
okay. I gotta ask, brother. I'm sorry to cut you, but I gotta ask. You said you spent too much money. How much is too much?
For somebody like that, I don't know, man. You know, inflation and stuff is different now. That was about 7 or 8 years ago.
How much did you spend, brother? How much did this lesson cost you?
So we went to the movies and we went to like I said, Carrabba's. That was at least 170.
Oh, okay, it's 170.
In total, give us the grand total. What did you spend, brother? What did you spend?
And the gas.
Oh well, yeah, that's close to 200, like 190.
Oh Lord,
yeah, it was like close to 200.
I think that's too much for a first date. I just did.
Yeah, because once you start that way, that's what she's expecting, brother.
And it's only gonna go higher.
You the gas guy now. Like Chris, I need some gas. You know, because you did it the first time. I'm gonna tell on us for real quick, fellas. I'm gonna tell. Ladies, check this out, right? This is what y'all don't know. Don't kill me, fellas. Don't kill me.
Lord Jesus, he gonna let the game
this
out.
is gonna be good. Go ahead.
Ladies, when we meet you, to a certain degree, we pedestalize you. We pick you up and we put you on that perch. And a lot of this is ego, right? Because we like to believe that the type of women that we like and that like than the women that like us are better than the other women, right? So all the whole shit, all of the hood rat shit, we wipe all of that away and we say she's all of this and all of that. We all do it. We don't admit it, but this is what we do, right? And only you, ladies, can knock yourself off that pedestal. You do some. We see the little whole tendencies. We be like, wait a minute. That don't look right. That look a little maybe she's not. She's showing signs. Then we hear you singing the hood rat songs. We be like, damn, is she possibly of that ilk? Could it possibly be?
What's the hood rat song question? What is
it? FREF nigga free. Yes. When you start singing all that bullshit, right? Yeah. When you were like, I don't give a fuck about a nigga, real that bitch. When you start singing them songs,
anything in the Megan Thee Stallion catalog.
Once you start City Girl and then Meg Thee Stallion, You knock yourself off that pedestal because we put
That's
you
a
on that
fact.
perch when we meet you. I'm telling you, that's what fellas do.
Facts.
You don't know it, but we do, because it's a part of it is ego. Part of it is us, because we like to feel like the type of chicks we get are exceptional. They're not like everybody else.
I totally appreciated that you said that. That's like some definitely new knowledge. I can totally understand that. But my question is you like to believe, right? And I understand that the women you're picking, right, that they're at this higher level, a higher echelon of worth and quality. But are they? Like, are you picking from that sample size, and you're just picking amongst? Because then because I'm feeling like if you're you guys have talked a lot about these women and these like horror stories and all this stuff, but who are you picking? And I have not picked well myself.
I'm not saying that we were correct. I'm not saying that even us pedestalizing these women to a certain degree was the thing to do. I'm just saying it's something that we do. I'm not saying that we picked wisely. I'm not saying
what would make you like. So do you pedestalize them based on your ego and you?
It's like that's why I said part of it is ego. Part of it is ego.
Is there another part that you see from these women that eventually you go, oh no, they're really not as great as
exactly. Well, when they start to show their ass, when you start to, you having a conversation with them, and you be like, oh my God, this bitch is an airhead. Like you're like, okay, now I gotta go. That's what it is.
Understandable.
You really start to see them for who they really are after a while.
Exactly.
I don't think at first we analyze them the right way to see what we need to see. We seeing what we want them to be.
What we want to see. Yeah, because one last thing I want to say on this is that we believe that you are going to be better than a man would be. What do I mean by that? Like how a man would walk past a chick that's promiscuous and he know he could stab it. He going like, you know what? I'm gonna fuck this bitch. I'm gonna call my lady and tell her that I'm gonna be a little late, but let me get this pussy real quick. Right? We expect you to be better than we are in that sense when it comes to those things. And when we find out that you're not only are we disappointed. Remember, you didn't tell us that you were better than our expectations. We did that to ourselves. We let ourselves down. Right? Like, damn, I thought she was better than that. She's not. She's a dog like me.
Facts.
So you want a woman who's better than you in that sense, who can control her urges, right? Because if she's like a dude, then what good is she?
Yo, Lillian, I'm reading your comments, cracking up. So we learn from y'all, Lillian. Hey Lillian, I love you. So next week we're doing a show called "Men Are the Monsters Women Created."
And that is the truth.
And women are the monsters.
We don't have enough time today for me to do that. Because I got stories.
Yeah, we don't. But I got something for you. It's in the tuck, as we say in Philly. It's in the tuck. Men are the monsters women created, and women are the monsters society created.
Yeah, shout to Lillian. I can't see the comments. I'm a little far away from the screen, but if he's saying that you co-signing the BS, I would love for you to jump on this.
I would love. Hey, but listen, it's time for our brother, sister Magic, Mary, Mother Queen, Zora the Explorer, who's going to tell the truth today. Randy, are you there? I know you there. You've been quiet. Randy,
peace and love, everybody.
Please tell me you're there, Randy. I know you're going to tell the truth.
Peace and love.
Where you at, Randy? She ain't nowhere to be found. So we can't hear you. So you
are really low.
Yeah, you're super duper low.
Take off them earbuds.
Hold up, wait. Y'all was connected to my radio.
Right. There you go. She said, listen, nah.
What?
No, I'm talking about Lillian going at us. But go ahead, Randy. I'm gonna pose the same question. As a young cinnamon toast crunch coated beautiful black woman you are.
All right.
Right? Do women have two sets of rules? One for the guy she like, where it's no holds bar, and then prison rules for the guy that she don't.
Absolutely. I mean, keep it a buck. We really being honest. If we being honest about this, every woman that's been dating, I've probably been actively dating for the past, I would say 10, 12 years. Here and there, I've been in solid relationships and other situationships. But the reality of it is we do. Like, I know personally, from a personal standpoint, I was trying to date a dude. He was like 60, nice looking man.
60.
Yeah, 60, nice looking, in shape, work out, like
all right.
In like nice dude. Still a nice guy. But his energy read fuckboy to me.
Oh Lord.
Literally at 60, that's what his energy read to me. So off of conversations and just his mannerisms, watching how he talks, how he texts, all of that, I took all of that into consideration.
Right.
And granted, you know, whatever happened, we grown. But it was like, nah, you know what? This ain't it, yo. Like, your energy not right. So I literally told him this up front. I ain't hold no punches because you not that dude. So I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm gonna tell you, like, nah, this is it, whatever. And if you not the one, you ain't it. Now, I had another dude that when he called, I was running. I ain't asked no questions.
3 o'clock in the morning.
3 o'clock in the morning.
I'm going. Or you coming over,
tank
which
of gas
one
in
you
your
want?
car.
What you doing?
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But
Girl,
I think I think I played that game more when I didn't understand what I wanted from a man.
Oh, so I don't want to stop your flow, but I want to ask a question. Being that you said that you didn't know what you wanted from a man. What do you want from a man now?
Oh, what I want from a man now? Love, respect, compassion. I want him to have purpose in his life.
Purpose.
Yeah, all the things I give to myself: compassion, kindness. You know, protect me, provide for me.
That's the mandate of being a master.
Now,
that's literally the mandate.
Now, let me ask you this, right? If he doesn't choke you when he fuck you,
woof! Oh my God.
Okay.
Is he lacking?
No, I would just tell him what I want.
So you do need to choke him while you're being fucked.
No, I don't. But I'm saying, if that was my thing, I'm gonna tell my dude, like, yo, babe, this is kind of what I'm into. This is what I want you to do.
Like choking. Are we talking choking?
Choking.
I thought that's what I was talking about, the literal sense.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm talking about. Choking, like grab that neck.
Turner.
Yeah, and
if
that was my thing, if I was into that, I'm going to tell him that's what I want.
She would tell him.
Now, would it be more sexy if he just choked you without you telling him?
Oh, for me, yes. If he didn't, because this is the thing, right? Sex is an exchange of energy. That's the reality of the situation. So in that moment, I'm more than certain, as a man, you could read the energy. Like, if you going from behind and the lady is not in an angle that's comfortable for you, that means she uncomfortable, nigga.
She meant that. She put the nigga on the end of it, boy. That was like the period. Like, that means
like, that's the truth of the matter. If she not laying in a comfortable position for you, that means she not comfortable. If you gotta keep telling the chick, raise your back, put your face, do this.
I mean, I asked because
depending on how much she like you, she's going to tell you what to do. She's gonna tell you how to.
I agree, but I asked because you ran down the typical list. He needs to respect me, protect and provide, and all the other stuff. And a lot of times a woman will get that. She will get that type of guy, and she won't respect him because he's not edgy enough to just grab her by the throat and while he digging it out.
Oh, well,
damn, he don't. James be grabbing a bitch by the throat. It's something about the way James grab a bitch.
I'm always gonna go back to.
Christina,
it be like that sometimes.
Christina, like she saw a ghost with this.
And it be like that for real.
See, Randy co-signing.
Randy is doing the Lord's work.
It be like that, but like I said, once you get to like I know myself so well now. Like, put it this way, like what my man did, Chris, right? The date that you took Shorty on, right? Her energy, that chick's energy, she was on city girl type time, and I only know that because when I was on that kind of time, so to speak, or I was literally, and Drea speak to this, I was literally doing nigga shit. I would have did you the same way. Like, I wouldn't have not talked to you, but I definitely would have kind of kept you on the back burner because, oh yeah, he put gas in my car, we went out to a nice restaurant or whatever. Yeah, I would have did that. Now, not all of us do that, but I can only say that because I've done it before.
I just think that I'm gonna tell you, and she's one of my Facebook friends. I don't even care. I ain't gonna say her name. I used to have a crush on this Italian girl, right? And this one I was simp with a cape. And I didn't buy her anything or do anything out of the ordinary, but I was real expressive with me having a crush on said Italian girl. So the first time I don't want to say did something, because we ain't do anything to an extent. It was like she knew I was a simp. And so what she did was she used me for that simp currency that a simp do. Give him the conversation, give him the I'll sweep your floor if you let me. I'll wash your dirty drawers and all that goofy magical stuff I used to talk. And so she disappears, right? And then so she disappears and then she comes back. And I'll never forget it, Randy. Let me tell you, you know me, I was such a simp. I'll never forget it. I'm sitting in at my house in front of the computer. I'm like 28-ish. And I get this text, I miss you. Yo, my face, this light-skinned face lit up like a Christmas tree. Right? So I'm like, so when we gonna get together? Oh, yo, I'm back up here from you know what? So she basically tells me that her boyfriend was locked up. He was Trini. So her boyfriend was locked up in Brooklyn, did some crazy, right? And my stupid, nonsensical simp self, not understanding that all she's doing is substituting the attention he couldn't give her while in jail, that I was giving her via text, right? So I get with her, she's working at Starbucks. I'll never forget it. We link up once or twice, right? And then I noticed something. This is why I am the way I am now, knowing how y'all ladies maneuver. How I always say women ghost men faster than men ghost women, right? I texted her, I'm like, damn, I don't even hear from you no more. You know what she said? She said, oh yeah, that's the thing. You know, he got out of jail and we realized we belong together. Randy, you should have seen my face. You should have seen my face. Like, literally, I swear to you, I know y'all gonna laugh at me. I swear that it rained in my house on me that day. Like, it was literally raining inside the house. You should have seen my face. Like, wow.
But yo, the thing is, Dre, right? Women, we play the simp role too. I've done it. I remember I was dating this guy. I was big.
Pause that, Randy. Pause that real quick. Y'all only play the simp role for the guy who, one, checks off all your vagina boxes, two, has everything you think he can offer you that you want. Y'all not playing the simp role for the simp. You and I both know that. Y'all not paying the simp role for the simp. You're not.
Well, I'm not saying playing a simp role for the simp. I'm just saying in general.
Right. Women, y'all play the role.
We play the simp role often. We play it often. Now, I never even thought about all of that. Like all the guy has to offer, whatever it was, I was just liking him for whatever reason I was liking him. And I remember I was like listening to everything he was telling me about himself. And he said Fruity Pebbles was his favorite like cereal. And I went to the supermarket and
got him some Fruity Pebbles.
Ooh, that man penis must have been a baby arm holding.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we've all done it before.
Yeah.
Christina, have you ever done that?
Of course. One of the people that I dated loved Sprite. I always made sure I had it in the house.
You know, it'd be some consequences and repercussions if you didn't.
No, there's no consequences and repercussions. It's just, I know he liked that, so I would have that.
He was just trying to keep the place comfortable. I could respect it.
I know what made him comfortable, so I wanted to accommodate that in the house when he came over.
Right. And did he choke you as well?
No, there's no
Okay, I'll just make
going
sure.
on. Absolutely not. No.
Christina's
that.
not the choking type.
No. I don't want to choke you. Don't choke me. We're good.
Christina looks very conservative.
Well.
So here's another thing, right? So this is my thing as well. So that was one story of me learning that, right? And so recently, someone started conversing with me, right? On some like, yo, 10, 20, 12 years ago, I know I, kind of did some funny things to you, blah, blah, blah. But, I'm getting my mind right, boom, boom, boom. All that magical talk. And I noticed after like a 3-week window of that person saying all that magical stuff, disappeared, right? And it shows you like
it's a flake.
Yes. See, Christina, you're one day you're gonna agree with me with this.
What?
And Obsession, I don't know if he agreed. I know I said it the last time when we were talking about when we did the first Sim show, where I said women can ghost men faster than men can ghost women. Because the one thing I learned in life, right, is that if you look at any woman in her household, I could just tell you as a kid, or I've said, your mother or your sister can be on the phone, bake cookies, watch her favorite show, feed the dog, beat the kids, talk to Big Mama, right? Do all of those things concurrently.
Yes.
But one thing a woman can't do concurrently? Men. They cannot multitask men, right? That's why if a man, I disagree with Obsession on this point, because I think men can actually, if you look at your woman, you can easily catch her cheating faster than women. Are definitely better liars and definitely better like connivers when it comes to that. But women are so habitual at certain things, like you could catch it. Like
you make us very evil, Andre.
Well, y'all diabolical by nature. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way. I embrace female nature. But the point I'm making is like, y'all multitask everything. This is why y'all make great executive assistants, personal assistants, a lot of things. But as soon you could text a woman 3 straight months and she a hey boo, hey king, hey my world and all that, and then just like then you text her the next day, hey you. You if a man, listen guys, you better know you get that hey you, hey boo is in somebody else's phone right now.
But you really only think women do that?
Yes. A man, if he a play about his, can literally text her good night, switch screen, her good night, switch screen, her good night, switch screen, and go to bed like this. Wake up, hey boo, switch screen, hey boo, switch screen, hey boo, switch screen, and go to work and be like, yeah. Go get a Starbucks coffee, his bagel. I'm just telling you the truth.
Like rotation.
Yeah. Am I lying, Chris?
Well, I don't know about that, Dre, because I've done that as a woman.
But here's the thing, Randy. Were you giving the person that you started to hey you the same energy that you was giving to hey boo? That's what I'm telling you. Think about that, Randy.
A good question.
Yeah.
Can you evenly multitask men like men can evenly multitask women?
Oh, absolutely not.
Exactly.
I can't speak for other women.
No
I
woman can.
No, I couldn't do it.
Well, once feelings get established, that's
right, because that's the one thing women lead with is their feelings.
Right.
Correct? Whereas men, we have to have a certain type of exterior, a certain type of like poise to see, where are we headed with this? You understand where I'm coming from?
What do you think?
Huh?
My aunt's walking by. I'm like, what do you think?
Tell your aunt she's welcome to join because we would love to have a nice seasoned veteran
Yeah.
in this conversation.
Beautiful.
Donna che tradisce.
The Italian. This
Yeah,
beautiful.
and that's the truth. It's listen,
Do
this is nothing.
Do you think
Go ahead, I'm listening.
women can't multitask? Men can multitask women more, but a woman, when she gets feelings, it's more like that one person? Or can people multitask?
I think sometimes women will multitask before they meet the right man. When they meet the right man, then they're committed. Some men are committed also, but then you get the other half. Just like women, there's no difference here.
She doesn't think there's any difference. She said women.
Okay.
Some women are like
Okay.
players.
Some women are players, she said. And some men are players.
There's a unique breed of both.
And there's a unique breed of both.
That once they commit, they commit.
Once they commit, they commit.
An individual makeup.
She thinks it's more of an individual makeup more than like a male-female thing, because women can multitask until they find the person. Just like men may do that. Because there's no men.
I have to
You never ever think a man. I don't even think the men are worse than the women, because there are some women out there.
She doesn't ever think that men are worse than the women, because there's women out there that are players and do all that too.
No, I disagree with that. For the sense of the matter is that Christine, on a personal level, I have these conversations with lots of women who come to me like the oracle, right? Not saying that I'm the fourth most authority on these things, but I hear women say, I like him, but I like him.
But I
got both of them.
Another one.
And they put that energy. Listen, you know me. I'm gonna be totally transparent. This is anecdotal, but this is a great illustration. Mm-hmm. I was in a 6-year committed relationship with a woman, right?
Women cheat.
They sure do. And this woman, when she was with me in this committed relationship, I thought that was my best friend. I thought I was gonna spend my life with this woman, right? We're gonna just give her the letter N, right? And then one day I noticed something. Every little subtlety changed. Right? Now, mind you, I wasn't becoming worse as a partner. I was becoming more simpish, more what these women claim they want, this upstanding, neck high, chest out.
All lies.
Right? And I was really on some baby face. I'll cook your dinner, sweep your floor, all that. I'll go to 7-Eleven and get your feminine products if I had to, right?
Oh, you was gone.
I was gone, bro. And so one day, she's a nurse. So what happened was she said she had a second job, right? Working at night. This person created a whole second job.
My aunt just said she didn't have a second job.
I know that. She created, now mind you, let me show you how much a simp I was, right? She used to say, now mind you, I wasn't counting her money, but I'm like, Dad, you got this second job. Where's the second check? Oh, they keep messing up my check. Now, mind you, when you're in your mid-20s, you don't realize legally they can't keep messing up on no nurse's check.
No.
Right? Okay. So one day I'm on my way to Manhattan to go to work, to the showroom. I get a call from her nursing job. Yo, did you see N? And I'm like, she just called me. She said she on her way from work. She said, brother, she ain't been to work in a week.
Wow.
Fast forward to after we break up and I realized she was cheating on me with the guy that she's with now. Happy for her. Right? Peep game. Her best friend said one night, the dude, right? Now, mind you, I did a lot for this person, but the dude that she was cheating on me with wanted a PS. I don't know if it was 2 or 3. Let me see. It had to be a 3, right? This woman walked to get it and walked because her car had broke down and walked all the way back to this man's house to give it to him.
That's wow.
If you don't understand right? So F. Andre, who, did all these things, I ain't even gonna get into it, right?
Mhm.
But you walked to get a dude that you were messing with for 3 months because her car broke. She walked up through the hot on Route 40 to get this man a PS3 and walked back. That's my point. Is somebody with women, there's always gonna be that dude. Is like, if y'all juggling, one is like this big major object and the other is like two tiny ones, right? But that one major object is getting y'all attention.
I think it comes down to who they like and who likes them.
That's a fact.
It's just that simple.
Absolutely.
And I also, I think for the most part, women like attention. I don't want to generalize, but usually that's kind of what it is. And whether it's the attention that they're getting from the guy that they really like, or the attention that will do for now. I think a lot of times it's the attention that will do for now. That's you. You are the attention that will do for now. On her way to bring the other guy the PS4, she'll talk to PS3. She'll talk to you on the phone, and then she'll hang up just before she get there because that's who she. But she'll never walk to bring that PS3 to you. It's just what it is.
You don't think women can? You don't think men have done that too?
No. Men, I'm telling you, like,
if he don't like you, he ain't doing shit for
right.
you.
If a man, listen, obviously there has to be vested
no, but listen,
interest.
I'm at work late. Meanwhile, he's going into the other girl's house, and you don't know it.
Yeah, but that doesn't mean he's gonna treat you. Listen, you're looking
I'm about
at
to
the
say, he ain't
act.
doing shit for you.
Right. You're looking at the act. We're talking about this woman ain't walking to on no highway. Randy know about Route 46. This woman ain't walking on no highway to get no PS3 for me.
973-574-3398. Again, 973-574-3398. That's the number. Please call us.
Talking about different acts of whatever, like different.
You're talking about the actual act of him going while you're working to get some freelance vagina. I'm talking about the sentiment of her going.
Can't beat that. You cannot beat that. That's wild.
You can't.
Yeah, that's wild. That's a different one. Now,
I'm telling you, women cannot multitask men on that level. From my experiences, because Christina, let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Let's say you met a random guy. He was nice, but you didn't like. Let's say you remember the last time we actually had a show. We were talking about the sex and swipe culture, right?
Yes.
But let's say you met a guy but he just wasn't at arm's length, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you met a guy that wasn't arm's length, and he did take you out, and even though he wasn't good as the other guy, but now this guy got your time. You telling me you still got homeboy, the first guy that you never met, or do you ghost him? Be honest.
I would give attention to who was
There
around.
you go. That's just my point.
But in the same respect, I don't know if Randy has ever. I've been ghosted by men. Happens all the time.
Listen. We're not talking about the what about isms of being ghosted by
but
men.
we're talking about ghosted women.
We're talking about multitasking men in a concurrent manner. We're not talking about being ghosted. Do women ghost men more than men ghost women? I totally, in my subjective mind, 100%. Because y'all get into this thing where, okay, he's the one. Right? And then it's like, all right, the rest of them, all right, go play. Even though that man that you ghosted me for didn't commit to you. You understand where I'm coming from? For example, remember I said this the other day. I said this, I didn't say that. I said we was having a conversation at work, and I was saying, the one thing I'm starting to learn about women is that y'all are super complex with, like, Obsession just said y'all like what y'all gotta like something, right? So, and Randy, you can object if I'm wrong, because I told Christina this already. If you put Christina in a room of 10 men, she might be there for 5 minutes, because she might look at his shoes and be like, oh, those shoes are dope. You the one. But if you put a man in a room of 10 women, he gonna be there for 3 months because he want all the women. Am I lying, Chris? Like, what are you talking about?
Listen, my dad was like that. He had
you understand what I'm saying?
Relationship.
Christina might look at me, right? If I wasn't woofing, I would take it. But look, Christina might look at me and be like, oh, that hair is in the right place at the right time, on the right angle, on the right light, hit it right there. You coming with me. But a guy would be in that room with those 10 women and be like, eeny, meeny, miny, mo.
thinking of
Carry the
everything you
1,
can
3,
do.
2, 5, 9. He would be there all day, unless it's like a room
Strategizing.
full of Lizzos.
Yeah,
Come on.
we'll find use for each one of them.
There you give a Lord a hand clap for it. Thank you, brother.
Randy,
Thank you.
what do you think about the whole ghosting thing when it comes to men and women and ghosting? Do you think women ghost more? Or it depends on the person?
Honestly, I mean, I kind of feel like I guess we do it to each other equally. Where I am now in life, I would never do that to somebody. I'm just gonna simply tell you that I met somebody else,
Right.
and I want to see what happens with it. Because I've been I thought I was in a whole ass relationship, and this man literally, like, I'm talking about, gave him a key to my house, and then
Whoa.
I didn't hear from him for months, and then he turned back around and was like, "Oh, I had shit going on. I just threw the key away." You threw my key away? Like, that was terrible to me. But I think we do it equally to each other. But I would never do that now, because I wouldn't want nobody to do that to me.
Right. Yeah, you have to say something. And you know what? In today's day, you know, like, you don't have to see the person in person. You don't have to call them. You can text it. Do something. Say something.
But you know what, though, Christina? I think, like I've said this before on another show, that I really think the major problem is that people don't really know what they want, and they don't know who they are.
I agree.
So, and I can say that because, like, I've been dating for some time, and now I'm not dating on purpose.
Mm-hmm.
Because what I want is really important to me. So,
well, what is it that you want?
And if you don't know who you are, and know what
it's
you
hard
want,
to know
how
what
can
you
you
want.
decide what you're looking for? You're not
Okay,
even
all right, ladies. Both of you all. What is it that you want?
So me, I want my best friend.
Cooperation. That's what we want.
Oh, you want cooperation.
Sorry.
There you go.
Okay.
I want my best friend.
No, let's take it a step further. What does cooperation look like?
I want to work as a team with someone. I want someone to love.
No.
I like that word cooperation, because you said that before.
That's right.
That's why I'm using it.
Before our session.
That's what I like. Cooperate.
Yeah, and I really like that word, right? So I feel like in cooperation, it's going to be communication, it's going to be patience, it's going to be understanding, and it's going to be really knowing what you want, and y'all both moving in y'all purpose. So if y'all both moving in y'all purpose, it ain't a bunch of drama. Right? You know what it is.
All right, so
similar views and similar goals that you're in the.
Hold on, we got a caller.
Thank you, Jim.
Caller, you are live. Talk to me. Hello. What's going on here?
Is the Bluetooth?
Oh, wait, hold up. There we go. Caller, you are live. Hello?
Yes, I'm still here.
All right, talk to me. What's going on?
Well, I had a question for Andre. I know you guys kind of moved on, but I was listening to the whole PS3 story, and, he was saying how, like, relax. He was saying, like, how, like, women wouldn't, like, have two men, like, on the same level, and to do that for two men at once, which nobody should be doing that for two men anyway. Like, should only have one, but
I agree with you.
But Andre, I have a question for you, because now I hear what you're saying about her, and it's clear that she was a trash woman, right? But what about you in that situation? What were you doing, or what were you not doing that you feel like led to her doing what she did? Like, I'm interested in hearing.
I can tell you. Listen, I'll tell you. I'm not gonna put all that I did for that person, because it would really embarrass her, right? But what I will say is this. I'll tell you something. You want me to hear what she said? Because you know me, I was a simp. So I called her crying one night.
Whoa, wait, hold up. Right on the play. You called her crying.
I'm trying to let him tell the story.
Listen, I'm about to go. We about to go to the ocean floor.
Flag on the
play. She said to me, I'll never forget this. I'll never forget this. She said to me, right? I said, like, yo, like, you said you wanted me to do this and you wanted me to do that, meaning like you wanted me to like step up and be like this married material guy, right? And and you know what she said? I remember one day she was like, She was like, yeah, but I changed my mind. And you know what she said? Now, hold on. I'm gonna tell you something even crazier what she said. And then I'm gonna go back into the story so you can get a little bit more context. She said, Andre, if you would have did to me what I did to you, I would have killed you. She said, I don't even know how you're man enough to take it.
Wow.
Now let's go get into this thing, right? So I'm a Capricorn, so my memory is of an elephant. So she said one day she called me, right? And she said, I'm with this dude, but I'm thinking about you. And it's not fair to him, which if at that time, if I wasn't a simp, I'd have been like, yo, get off my phone. Because why would you tell me it's not fair to him when you was with me for 6 years, right? Well, whatever.
Right.
She was supposed to meet up with me and we were supposed to talk. That talk never happened, but I kept calling her. I was a simp. And she finally picked up the phone. And my family took her in as their own flesh and blood because her family for a while kind of like did her dirty, right? And all I said to her, well, let me tell you what she said to me first, right? She said, Andre, if you was a real man, you wouldn't have let me hang out with my female friends. You would have stopped me from just like having a life. Like basically saying you'd have went upside my head.
That's craziness.
Now,
we're gonna light a candle for Andre.
Please do. So now let's get to the meat and potatoes.
So you was the hitch. You was
listen,
hitch.
So I said to her, right?
Got a candle over here for the brother. We're gonna light this candle for Andre.
So let me tell you this part of the story. So I said to her, like, yo, but my mother, when your own people wouldn't even speak to you, I said, my mother like loved you. She said, your mother ain't do nothing for me but put a roof over my head.
That is way too emotional, brother.
Why is that way too emotional? She asked me, did you ask me what happened?
I wanted insight.
Right, so
and I wanted to know,
I'm
like,
just trying to find out why.
What I'm talking about is, I'm not talking about you answering her question. I'm just talking about the situation with you dealing with the girl, like the conversation you were having.
But that's I just wanted, but I had to give you context because sometimes people listen to these stories and they think that there was some type of villainization of me. You know, one thing, Obsession, what you always say is like, we're always into this like Tyler Perry role with women, right? They put us in, well, you must have did this and you must have did that. Sometimes we didn't, sometimes no.
And I agree with you on that. I'm not saying that you did something wrong, but I really wanted to know, like, if you would be man enough to admit if you did do something wrong.
I'll be the first one.
I said when I first called, it's clear that she's trash. Like and based off of what you just said about your mom just put a roof over her head, she sounds ungrateful, she sounds disgusting, she sounds bottom tier. But I just wanted to know if there was more on your end. Like, do you ever feel like, have you ever reflected and thought like, well, maybe it's because I did this or I didn't that? Or did you ever have that moment?
Something here, caller.
But hold on real quick. Let me also tell you this, right? Like Christina, no, Randy, no. I am so transparent. If I was like an a-hole, I'll be the first one to tell you, man.
I gotta ask because I'm sensing something here, caller.
Not you sensing something. Are you a psychic?
I'm sensing something here. Are you low
what
key?
Are you
low key trying to say that Andre is the problem?
He was this.
I wanted to know if he was. I'm asking because for a picture.
Go ahead, continue.
Not to stir in the pot, Obsession.
Continue.
But like I was saying, I mean, I only heard like the part about chick walking to go get a PS3 and blah blah blah. And truth be told, let me be real, right? If she's doing all that, I would never do something like that. But if she did that, there has to have been a reason. Now, I'm gonna just say, I'm like, was it sex? Was she getting something emotional from the dude, or she wasn't getting from me? That's my question. Like, what was she getting from him, or was she just a thot? Like, because it could just be that.
Sounds like a little victim.
She was a tiger playing like a lioness.
It is, but I'm gonna show you something. And the one thing about life, you know, I've been lucky, similar to Obsession. And Christina, you can identify what I'm about to say. I've been lucky to travel the world, right? And the one thing you understand that's dominant in geographical locales is culture. she was a Dominican girl raised by her Dominican mother to be a dishwashing, yes sir husband, cook my dinner, shut the F up Dominican woman, right? I'm sitting here being a liberal. Let's do this together. I am woman, hear me roar, and all this goofy shit.
It's a good point.
Right? And so I'm gonna, my only retort to you, Miss Lady, ma'am, young lady, beautiful sister, mother, queen, magic, is that you know why she did that? Happiness.
Because she's a whore?
No, happiness. She's happy to be a mediocre woman who happens to be a nurse for her mediocre husband who looked like Grizzly Adams, right? Because that's what she was raised to be. I gave her a vacation from being this, I just want to, whatever say you like. I gave her a vacation from that.
I know you cried, though.
And I did cry.
Andre, but with your
listen, I'm real like a
why do you have to bring it back up?
No, it's fine. No, me and obsession. I love obsession. See, the problem is that, but hold on, but Ron, you know the problem though with us is that as men, and Christina, me and Christina always play chess with this. I tell men all the time, with women, don't live in the ego space because they're gonna find any reason to like you and they're gonna find any reason to get rid of you. That shit ain't got nothing to do with you.
I've said this before that the worse I treated women, the better they treated me.
100%.
And I've tried to be the nice guy. I tried to be flowers and candy. I tried to be yeses, pleases, and thank yous, and holding doors open. And I did all of that shit, and it got me nowhere. Like, the worse I was, the more I told them to kiss my ass, the more they lined up to kiss it.
Can I ask a question?
Accurate.
And we're lacking something.
That's accurate.
Andre, when you said when you said that she said if you were a real man, something like that.
Yes, she did. Yep.
If you would have not even let me have a life or go out with my friends or whatever. So let me go back, psychological. We are attracted to what's familiar, right? What we're familiar with. It's not necessarily healthy or not healthy or good or not good or nurturing or abusive. So even though she could maybe even admit, I don't like this way of how things are.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
She's used to something, and that's where all that dynamic of love and attraction and all that gets tied up in. You could be the healthier alternative. She may not connect with that because that's not what she's used to. That's where we get that whole thing of, women want to be, or men want to be mistreated. We don't. It's a dynamic. It's a dynamic.
I'm with you on that.
Christina, I got a question. You are the psychologist on the panel, correct?
Thank you, Jesus.
Let me ask you this. Why is it I've had more success mistreating women than I've had treating them right?
Question.
It's a good question.
They didn't love.
Thank you, sis. She said it. She said it. They didn't love themselves. Like, I'm gonna keep it a buck.
It was woman after woman. Come on now. Come on. Nobody loved themselves. Come on. Give me something better than that.
That's the honest to God truth. And that's the same for men and women.
What does that mean, though?
If you don't treat yourself right, how you gonna treat somebody else right?
That's right.
Okay, we don't let Christina off the hook. I want to bring it back to Christina. She is the psychologist on the panel. Okay, so respectfully, for 10 seconds, I don't want anyone else to chime in. I want Christina to answer that question because she is the psychologist on the panel.
You are intelligence.
I think there are. All right, so nothing exists in a vacuum. I always say it. There's a couple of things going on. Okay, so good, bad, or indifferent, people have this inherent, they want what they can't have or is harder to get, right? So if someone's a little more standoffish, it's called, oh my goodness, it's called pursuer. It has to do with like the yin and the yang, like the push and pull. Like if you pull away, someone's gonna follow. I'll find out the name. Pursuer something dynamic, right?
Right.
The important thing is it can't just be one way. It's got to be like a back and forth kind of thing. But I think all that, like with those women, right, that you treated more poorly and then they responded better to you, have these relationships been successful?
Well, that's what I'm such an answer.
No, that's I'm asking him.
What was that? What was the last thing you said?
She said the ladies that you treated as such,
right,
was
and
these
they had better results.
Successful.
Right.
Like, they were successful. I mean, they catered to me. You know, they did what I wanted them to do.
So why aren't you with them now then? That must have not totally worked.
Well, I mean, you know, that was years ago. I was a different person then. I'm not that same person anymore.
Right. So
I was in a different space.
Right, exactly. So there's the dynamic of when I say you, I mean anybody, when you find someone, right, and they're going to respond to you based on their past and their how they're made up as a person. And the people that, I don't believe it's the people that we look for. Like Andrea and I talk about this, like there's that expression in psychology, water seeks its level, or you attract what you are, right? So, but I think to a certain respect, maybe not necessarily you attract what you are, you know, maybe you stay with what you are. You stay with the person, because there are people that and it's anecdotal.
I'm serious. Hold on. So not to cut you. I feel like I'm not getting my question answered.
Hold on.
No, let me get this out. Let me get this out and I'll stop.
Yeah, go ahead.
Right.
I have literally walked up to a woman and was like, "Hey, how you doing? You know, my name is so-and-so, you know, whatever. And nothing. Bupkis. Okay, snake eyes, nothing. Okay. And then I rolled up with, damn, yo, hold on. Where you going? Come here. Yo, who I gotta kill to take you out tonight? You going with me? Yo, we going to brunch tomorrow. And it was like, okay, all right.
That depends on the woman, Obsession. I do.
Over and over and over.
I need a hero. You know, that's just what it's about.
That depends on.
I'm gonna make it as so layman as possible. I'm, you know, and Chris and Randy.
Oh my God, the caller, are you still there?
I think she did.
I'm about to not be.
Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. I forgot. We just kind of got lost.
I'm sorry about that.
You're not sorry, Obsession. You love stirring the pot. Let's just stop
though. Thank you for calling. We appreciate the hell out you.
Look,
thank you.
I'm gonna make this as layman as possible, and Chris. And Randy, you can tell me if I'm lying after I finish illustrating this. Women do not like boredom. And the one thing I know from being the good guy myself is that we're boring. It's every day, it's almost like routinely the same. You walk in, hey babe, how you doing? How was work? It was cool. Okay, cool. Okay, what you eat? Did you eat? Did you have a good day? Okay, cool. Oh, wow, your boss said that? Okay, cool. Oh, all right, boom. But the toxic guy comes in, he hugs her one day, the next day he slaps her. Then the next day he put a Band-Aid on her slap, the next day he runs a bath water. The next day he throw a toaster in the bath water that he's running. Women love this toxicity energy. No. Christina.
I beg
you could claim that.
Nope.
But in full disclosure, come on, like okay, we're gonna give you your own special snowflake. Randy know
they like
that
the
I'm
bad
not
boy,
tripping.
Linda said.
Chris knows that I'm not tripping. Randy, am I tripping?
No, it's some women that like that. Like
some
that's
women
literally
like
that.
More than not love that energy. This never know what I'm gonna expect from my man. They love it.
Because it's exciting.
It's exciting.
Yeah, it's something.
You
different.
see it in movies every year. You see these movies where the good guy always loses the woman to the bad guy or to this exciting guy. You see it.
But you're talking movies, and then you're talking healthy relationships. That's not a healthy relationship.
Movies, once again, men are the creatures women created, and society are the creatures that women are. These movies is the reason why women are acting the way they act now in present day time. Tell me I'm lying.
Romance
there's
and
no
fantasy.
lie. I'm gonna keep it a buck, Dre. There's
Romance
no lie detected in none of what you're saying. But that just brings me back to what I said before, where it's all based on how you treat yourself. Like, honestly, I remove myself from a lot of that now because I understand what you're saying. And I don't want to be like that.
That's right.
So
100%. That's
You know
right.
what I'm saying? Like,
But
you
we
telling
also
the
have
truth.
to be
That's
able
the
to
honest
tell
to
the.
God
We also
truth.
have to be able to tell the truth. Women kind of like do the feminist shuffle around it. For example, me and you talk about this all the time, Randy, and even Christina knows. You've never seen a rom-com where two guys are in the living room and he lost this girl, right? He lost this girl, and the dude was like, yo, climb in her window, break into her house, get your woman. No, because that's called stalking.
That's called
But
breaking and entering.
but if a woman loses her man, there's always a scene where the girl got her legs crossed in the girl, he still loves you. Go get your man. Go and get your man.
I've seen movies where the guy is like, "Go get your woman." I can't go.
Lord Jesus.
Comparative though.
Come on, man. Come on, what are we talking
different.
about? Man?
Listen, you know that I
You are literally now being a contrarian.
No, I'm not trying to be a contrarian. Listen, you know, in the end, I'm more apt to say it has to do with an individual thing, moreover than all men are like this, and all women or most women are like this.
We're
You know,
going with the
that.
bell curve. So Christina, once again, who's a special snowflake, is this part of the bell curve, everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But the fat of the curve,
yes.
Listen,
that's where 75%.
All you have to do, it's right in front of your face what television does, right? Steve Urkel used to fall out of Laura's window, but when he had an edge to him as Stefan Urkel, she chased that man all around Chicago.
Yep.
And I thought she was corny then. I thought he should have left her.
You talking about some? I
didn't like the message that sent though. I remember watching that. I just never liked the message that sent.
It shows you that the good guy shall lose.
Yeah.
And women will like what they like when they like it. And there's nothing. Once again, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. If you are educated about that, I think, like, for example, me, Chris, and Obsession, we go see Chris in Houston. We at the spot. We at what's one of the spots in Houston I used to frequent? Drum. What's that spot in Houston now? It has like a sporty name, but in this, you know how Houston is. All those women built like brick houses and horses, and we in there, and I like one, and you like one, and he like one. And I go up the one and she don't like me. Me understanding woman nature, you know what I do? I can respect. All right, mom. Okay. That's it.
But are you going to go over to every woman? Would you be attracted to every woman to go over in the place? The same thing?
Of course, I'm a man. If she's attractive.
I don't like all of them.
If she's not attractive, you're asking. Okay, listen. Okay. Like my dad used to say, just because you watch Captain Planet don't mean you recycle. If I'm in a room full of beautiful women, then yes, I'm like every woman, right? But obviously there's going to be one above the rest. Yeah. But if the one above the rest don't like me, do I lick my wounds and pack my bags and get out of there? No, I'm like, well, the A++ didn't like me. A+ might like me.
You throw the bait back out there.
Thank you.
Like
right?
It's like fishing.
Help out your fellow man. Lend them a helping hand. Put a little love in your... Like, what are we talking about?
Randy, I got a question for Randy.
All right.
If you out with your girlfriends, it's a group of you all, and a guy comes over and he tries to talk to you, but you're not particularly interested in him, so you shoot him down. Mm-hmm. If later on that evening he ends up talking to one of your friends and she's feeling him, do you tell her, hey, he tried to talk to me earlier, don't talk to him, or do you just leave it alone?
Well, one of my friends I know for a fact would want me to tell her, but honestly, I wouldn't care. That's the honest to God truth.
She wasn't interested.
I wouldn't care.
I respect
but
that.
I have a friend that would want me to tell her. Like, we literally like almost had an argument because we messed with the same dude at literally years apart. And I'm like, well, shit, I wasn't with him and I didn't want to be with him, so I didn't really see no problem with it. She was tight with me. So I got a friend that I would say that too, but I wouldn't care.
Oh, okay. All right. Christina, same question.
Okay.
It wouldn't bother me. I wouldn't care. I may have friends that might want me to say something, but no, I wouldn't care about that, and I certainly wouldn't. He wouldn't be enticing either because he was talking to one of my friends. I thought that's where you were going with that.
Right.
No, I get what Obsession's saying because I've done it before in the club where a guy came to talk to me, and for whatever reason, I subbed him. I wasn't into it, but then I saw him going to talk to not even a friend, just somebody I knew, and I'm like, oh, he mad corny. He gonna talk.
Oh, so he is corny.
Ooh.
Ah, this is what I was. Okay, so what should he do? So if he tries to talk to you and you shoot him down, is he not supposed to talk to anybody else for the night? You're breaking up.
That's just an
oh man, we can't hear you.
Man, Randy's in the rallies.
Do that one more time.
Start
over.
His parking lot. Go ahead.
Shut up. I'm at home. You know I live in the country.
I just playing.
All right, Hitch. Don't start. What I was saying, no, I was just saying that I think we all do it to each other, men and women. But I'm gonna tell you the truth. I think women probably not gonna like me for this. I think we're more guilty of it than men are.
So, like, but we should get in our feelings.
Though? Huh?
If you shoot him down, should he leave the club? Should he not try to talk to another?
No, I don't think he should leave the. Well, no, now I don't. I don't think a dude should leave the club if he gets.
You said now, down. Okay. So at some point you did.
Huh?
At some point you did think that way.
Not leave, but I would definitely be in my feelings if he was talking to another chick.
Well, why? If you shot him down.
That was just the psychoticness of it all. Like Dre said, all the influences between social media, music, and movies, it literally makes women psychotic because number one, we all into whoever else is saying outside. You know what I'm saying? Like who outside of whatever it is we doing or what we got going on. Just how we could put in the conversation where they not really.
No, what you said. He tries to talk to you. You said it happened. He tried to talk to you and you subbed him. And then you seen him talking to somebody else and you was like, oh, he mad corny. Now,
yeah, I really
why
did.
My question is why should you care if he's not for you anyway?
That's what I'm saying. That when my mindset was then, bless you, when my mindset was then, it was literally not psychosis, that's not the right word I'm looking for, like insanity. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it just has to do with
that be the insanity of
with
women.
Maturity. Maybe it just has to do with maturity.
That, maybe that was it too. Like,
because that's definitely something that guys don't do. Like if I go to try to talk to somebody and she curved me, if Chris roll up on her and he pull her, it was just for Chris that night.
She's right. She chosen.
I'm not mad at Chris, and I'm not. And I don't think she's any less.
I understand that now, but choosing. Back then, when I was young and silly, that shit didn't matter.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's listen, man. I'm so honest. Like, when I was in grammar school, I had the biggest crush on Randy. She ain't choose me.
I never believed that, nobody.
Randy is a goddamn Randy is alive from the pit of hell. We're gonna tell the truth today. Thank you, Jesus.
I mean, you told me that when we got grown, but I never saw that in elementary school. Like,
everybody, let me show y'all something, everybody. Let me show you the truth. Like once again, Andre's memories of an elephant, and Randy knows that we're kids, right?
Yeah.
So Andre, the Bible toting, scripture quoting, heavy set nerd, right? Couldn't get a girl to piss on him, let her know shit on him. But I had a crush on Randy, right? And I'll never forget when I was in 5th grade, I stayed up all night thinking how I'm going to tell Randy I had a crush on him, right? Now, let me show you how good my memory is, Randy. You had just broke up with the dude named Oscar. And I'm like, here's my chance. I was a sniper. I was a sniper. I was waiting. Boom! I got her. Right? I stayed up all night. So I'm in Miss Simon's art class, right? So my cousin was like, go ahead and do it. Go ahead and do it, Trey. I built up enough gumption to do it. Broke wind on the side of the class so no one could hear my stomach growling. Walked to Randy and told her, you know what Randy said, y'all? Do I look desperate?
Oh, now, I said that?
Now, Let me show y'all
I'm
something.
so sorry I said
Don't be
that
sorry, Randy. It was we're children.
Oh, that's terrible. Yeah, I
but
was
this
mean
is
as
but
hell.
this
I'm
is
sorry.
but this is my point. It has nothing. When people like who they like, it's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell. Listen, I think Obsession knows. I know Christina knows, and Randy definitely knows. I've been a simp, and I've been on the side of the road so long with women, especially in grammar school. In my first 2 years of high school, is the reason why I'm so respectful of women, right? Because I know how to be without them. That's why I don't really care. Like Christina will tell you, I just don't care.
And as you say, grammar school, and you're talking about your interaction with Randy, it reminded me of when I was in sixth grade. Sixth, like keep that in mind. Okay. Sixth grade. Sixth grade. And had a little girlfriend, right? It's kind of like one of my first little girlfriends. You know, you meet in the step well, and you know, we both in sixth grade. Everything is cool. We hanging out in the park, swinging and doing the little kid stuff, right? So one day, she just walks up to me and she's like, "It's quits." And I'm like, "What?" She's like, "I said it's quits," because you know that's how we talk back then. I was like, "Okay, well, it's quits. All right, I don't, you know, what did I really care, right?" So there's another little girl who I'm eyeing, and I say, "You want to be my girlfriend?" And she's like, "Aren't you with so and so?" And I'm like, "Oh no," she said it was quits, and she was like, "Okay, I'll be your girlfriend," right? The other girl got wind of this and went to the other girl and was like, "Hey, I still like him. Like, we're not finished," right? So she comes back to me now. It's like, I didn't really want to break up, so we're back together. And I'm like, okay, like, because what do I care, right? What do I care? A day later, she tells me again, it's quits. And why did she? And then she comes back and was like, "You ain't gonna be talking to that girl. That was like we in the same grade." So how conniving is a sixth grader to get back together with the guy that she just left? Just to stop him from seeing another little girl. When if you don't like me no more, then it should be over with. So that just leads me to believe that it's just something deeply embedded in these women. Because if it's at that age, that young, you already like that?
Yo, I'm gonna tell you the truth.
Do you have any stories, Chris? Not to cut you off, Randy. Let Chris. Do you have any stories that you know these ruthless women who just rip the heart out of us men? Just you know, I'm sorry.
I mean, you know, you live and you learn.
Right. Obsession says sixth grade. I think it was sixth grade.
Okay, let's go back to sixth grade.
I had no shot with this girl at all, because she like one of the top girls in school. But trying to pander to her, try to, you know, do all the right things just for her to shoot you down is crazy. It's wild, man. And I don't think women understand this either. Men, we go through stuff early on when we have a crush on certain girls growing up, and we get shattered and they tell us no. We have to soak all that in and move on through life. They don't understand that. When you take an L like that, and then you grow up and you meet that same woman, it's kind of different though. You kind of get your retaliation back as well, because some of these women, they age themselves out, and you know, you the new hot commodity on the market.
Oh, tell me about it. I be shutting their asses down in my DMs all the time.
Yes, get up. They circle the block.
They do. They spin the block heavy, man. If I don't want to be disrespectful, but if I showed you my DMs, be like, "Oh my God, how you doing? I haven't seen you in 10 years. Oh my God, you still look so young. What you doing? Where you be hanging out?" Everywhere you're not going to be.
Christina's face is
you don't priceless. Have a shot in hell.
Christina's face is priceless.
Bro, I swear, man.
Frozen?
I swear.
Like can you? Oh, okay. Look at
yo. Oh my God, yo, I'm terrible. And you know, one of my best friends used to always tell me I was a mean girl. Fuck, yo, I'm glad I'm not like that no more.
Randy,
for real,
that was so funny, Randy. You're like, oh my God, I'm so mean.
And I know I got that shit from a movie, because that's all I did as a kid was watch movies. So I know
once again, men are the creatures women created. Women are the creatures society created.
What Chris said, you know, it's very enlightening, because, you know, typically, right, he's the male is gonna like seek right, the female, and kind of, put it all out there and whatever, and you get denied and denied and denied.
Right.
That has to affect how you form and the opinions. And then, but the problem is, you take that with you, and you might apply that to the people who aren't like that.
That's a fact, man. Thank y'all all. Chris, let them know where they can find you at on your joint before we go.
Right there in the title, Chris Logic Woods on Facebook,
right.
Wall Street Logic on IG.
All right. Zora, I know you don't do social media like that. Christina, tell them about your outreach real quick.
Yes, I'm one of the directors and founders of True Outreach Incorporated. We bring mental health and wellness services to underserved communities, mostly now through a teletherapy platform. We take insurance, and we also are available if you are underinsured or uninsured. And we're all throughout New York, 5 boroughs, and we've been in existence since 2019.
Nice.
Obsession, your show, sir.
The podcast is In Session with DJ Obsession on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, anywhere you get your podcast. Radio show 102.3 FM, New York City. It's from 12 to 3 every Sunday, and you can find me at DJ Obsession across all platforms: Instagram, Twitter, all that good stuff.
Yep. And as far as me, I'll be serving chicken dinners on the Manhattan Bridge in about 15 minutes.
Yeah, I hate to have to pack him up, but
we out. But I just want to say thank y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Shout out to the panel. Appreciated all of you all. We will do this again next week.
Next week, y'all can decide the title real quick. If we're gonna do Men Are the Creatures Women Created, or if our session has it, let me know.
Okay, I guess we'll figure it out. But I appreciate all of you, man. Thank you so much.
Nice.
Thank y'all.
All right, and listen, y'all two ladies get choked tonight, okay? All right.
I wish, yo. I wish I would. But I would. Look, I'm coming to Houston tomorrow, so maybe Chris could direct me to who's gonna do the choking while I'm out.
Chris is a grown ass man.
Chris looked like he do some choking.
Chris is a grown ass
Chris
man.
like, listen, I don't have to direct you far. I can, let me know if you like a gentle choke or if you need to be a little aggressive,
Hey Randy, he in Houston, so he might brand you after he choked.
I'm going to Houston tomorrow. I'm staying with Shanna for like a week, and then
Shannon's down there.
He might choke you while listening to a little Meg Thee Stallion.
Hey, yo, Randy, I might fly down there and meet you down there. I might fly down there and meet you down there for real.
Please, hit me up and let me know.
All right, that's what's up.
Get her, Chris. Chris, get her. We rooting for you, Chris.
Listen, put them big hands around.
Get her. Get your choke on, brother.
Chris know how to get my number. Love and light. Y'all be safe.
All right, yo.
All right, y'all. Peace.